So this is a little hips and glutes section, Pilates style. For anybody that does my yoga, this will also be great for you. All the moves, sometimes I incorporate them in the yoga. This is just them kind of put together as a little, I don't want to say workout, but as a little sequence I've put them together. So they're as beneficial for the people that come to yoga as they are for like Pilates clients. So we're going to start in all fours. If the wrists don't like that, you can either go onto the elbows, if that feels more comfortable, or if you've got some folded up towels, a pillow, the boys go onto the elbows there if the wrists just don't want to play ball today. I'm going to go on the elbows, not because my wrists hurt, just to show that it can be done from here. So we're just going to go with some hip circles to start with. Doesn't matter which leg you do first, we're going to do both anyway. So we just take a leg back, push into the heel, then bend the knees. If you're trying to squeeze the heel to the bottom and keep that squeeze, lift the knee a little, out to the side, forward, and back, lift a little, to the side, forward, back. So we're trying to keep the pelvis level. Was that 3? I think it was. So we're going to change direction. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to swap sides, pop the knee down, swap sides, set the leg straight, just kick out into the heel, then make that bend, so you're pulling the heel to the bottom. Little lift, side, forward, and then back. So drawing that circle. Ooh, that one's moving quite a lot. 2. I think that was 3, so we're going to change direction. It's better. 2. 3. I think I just put that one back in. That was quite a clip. So from here, we're actually going to come onto our back. So to get rid of that, if you need a folded up towel or something for underneath your head, that's fine, as you know I do. So then, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, feet just comfortable distance apart, no wider than the outer edge of your backside. And I just want you to start with some pelvic tilt, so you can leave the hands on the front of the pelvis. So think of the back of the pelvis, the back of the sacrum level on the mat. And then I just want you to tip so you pick up the tailbone. You're going to put the top edge of the sacrum down. And like that. Reset, the sacrum goes flat. And then push the tailbone down. Shouldn't be uncomfortable, we're just changing the angle through the level on the sacrum. Tailbone up. Neutral. And then tailbone down. So just a few little pelvic tilts. And I want you to feel how when we take the tailbone down, we get a space between the lower back and the mat. Or we feel that the lower back gets lighter against the mat, even if we don't get space. And we go neutral. The back has a very small gap when we're in neutral between the mat and the floor. But then when we tip the tailbone upwards, lower back kisses into the floor. So we're allowing the pelvis to affect the lower back here. It doesn't have to, but we are allowing that here. Just find a neutral. So I want you to think about keeping the back of the sacrum, the back of the pelvis neutral. The belly button get heavy. Can you just get the lower back to kiss the mat but keep the pelvis neutral? And then let that release. And again. Keeping the pelvis neutral. So the tailbone's not moving. Now imagine the belly gets heavier. Just gets that lower back to kiss the mat. It shouldn't make you hold your breath. You should be able to maintain that hold without it making you gasping. And then let that release. The pelvis has stayed the same, the release is here in the centre. Just one more. It helps that as you breathe out, think the belly button, or the belly, not the belly button, the belly gets heavy, and that lower back just kisses into the floor. This is what we want at the start of our moves, these first laying moves. So we want the pelvis neutral, but we want that lower back to just kiss the mat. So our first move, might want to bring the feet in a little, with the feet kind of lined up with the hip socket. Pelvis neutral. You can leave a hand, like rest a hand on there. Try not to grip and use the hands to hold you in place, but the hand can rest there, then you can feel that. The other hand can go just above the belly if you wish. So pelvis neutral. As you breathe out, just want that lower back to kiss into the mat, and now we want to maintain that while we move. So as you breathe out, you're just going to take one leg and you're going to lengthen it out away from you as far as feels comfortable and as far as you can maintain that lower back into the mat and the neutral pelvis. The leg might not straighten, you might be able to get all the way out, but keep the leg active, push out into the heel. Lower back down, pelvis neutral, and then very gently just start to bring the leg back. So don't rush these. These are better done nice and slow. If you need to release this centre completely, that's fine. But then we reset neutral pelvis. Lower back kisses the mat. Swap sides. It's not about going fast. Lengthen the leg, lengthen the leg. The leg doesn't quite rest on the floor. If your leg doesn't straight, if the back starts to pop away before the legs got straight, that's where you stop. You stop where you can keep the control of keeping the lower back down and the pelvis neutral. And breath in to bring it back. And I just want you to repeat these at a pace that's right for you. If you come up, you need to reset, rest, pelvis, belly heavy, lower back down, lengthen the leg, and very gently bring it back. Make sure you can breathe. If it makes you hold your breath, that's too much. Lower back stays down. Leg lengthens. The leg stays still. Pelvis level, lower back stays in contact, that kissing contact with the mat. So just one more. If you do even the sides up, if you can remember which side you started on. If you don't worry too much. Bring that back. Let everything switch off and maybe just move the legs. Roll the hips a little. Then our next move, put the feet, the knees together in the start position. So the pelvis neutral again. So the back of the pelvis flat on the floor, pubic bone, hip bones level. And then as you breathe out, that lower back kissing the mat, but keeping the pelvis level. So we're going to do knee drops. You're going to do 4 on each side. So you do 4, short rest, and then 4 to the other side. Doesn't matter which side you do first. So, neutral pelvis, lower back kissing the mat. Make sure you can breathe. If it helps, start the movement with the breath out. Take the knee out to the side. So you've got to be able to keep the back of the pelvis flat and the lower back kissing the mat. How far will that knee go? The knee stays in place. Cage stays down. Breath in, breathe back. So, another 3 on that side. Nice and steady, pelvis neutral, lower back kissing the mat. Think of a glass of champagne on the leg that stays still. So we've got 2 more with this side. If you need to let everything go, switch off, check in again, pelvis, lower back, that's fine. Just make sure you reset each time before you start. So that was 3 for me. Work at a pace that's right for you. Now the thing is with these, you can do these and just like that, fall in and out. It's about going slow and controlled. Feel the back of the pelvis, feel that lower back, and control using the weight of the leg to test this stability. Back up. So that was 4. Short rest, wriggle. We're going to do 4. So you may have done a few more. You might have gone a little quicker than me. The thing is, don't rush them. You want to feel the work. It's in the centre. The hips are working, but we're going to feel it much more here in the core. So, pelvis level, lower back just kissing the mat. And then he opens out. So, want the pelvis to stay level, that lower back kissing the mat. Breath in, bring it back up. It's not about getting the knee to the floor. Leg that stays still, think about your champagne. Pelvis level, lower back, kissing the floor. That was 2. Keeping that back down in the pelvis, back of the pelvis level on the floor. And you should. Having the hands resting on there so you can feel that it's great, but make sure you don't hold them, maybe test a few. With the hands away. I think that one was 3, I'm not sure. We'll do 1 more, just so I'm sure I've done 4. Couple pelvis. Lower back, keeping that contact with the floor. So that was number 4. I'm going to bring the knees in, going to give them a hug, going to let everything switch off and move from side to side. From here, we're going to come to side lying. Side lying. So we're going to come into side lying. Now with this, you've got your folded blanket and you want to use that as part of your support for your head, that's fine. Fold your blanket, you might want to put it underneath that bottom hip. If you want a little bit of extra padding there, that's okay. This is yours. Your arm straight out. If the shoulder's really uncomfortable with that, take the arm out in front. You will need some padding for the head. You can get the arm underneath the head, great. So straight line down through the body. We want the hips stacked and the shoulders stacked. The top hand can go just in front of you. Fingertips touch down. Try not to lean into the hand. Fingertips just to offer you a little bit of support if that's needed. So we find that level. As you breathe out, we're just going to lift the top leg. Don't go too high. No higher than the hip, just a little lift, and then lower. So this is going to come in layers. You don't have to go beyond a layer that feels right for you. You want to feel stable at the layer. So that one's 3. So we're not going too high because we want to keep the work here. We don't want to feel it crunch into the waist. So that was 4. So now we're going to keep that leg lifted. And then if you can, as you breathe out, you're going to lift the bottom leg. You're going to see if you can bring the heels together. It might mean bringing the top leg down a little. You might be able to take the bottom leg up to the top leg. Yeah, that way it gets nice and wobbly there. And then breath out, let them lower together. We go again, we lift the top leg. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked. Need a little bit of stability with the hand, that's fine, otherwise hand can go on the hip or on the belly. We lift and then we lift the bottom leg. So you can get the heels to come together. Don't worry if they don't quite meet, that's fine. Just let them both lift in. And then lower. If it doesn't feel good lifting both legs, just stay with the single leg, but hold the single leg for a breath or two, that's fine. And we go again. I think this one's number 3. We're doing 4 of each. Like that, lift the leg. So here, arms are out. We're not using the arms, we're trying to use the centre. We're using that glute med. And then lower. If you find when you lift the bottom leg there's no way you can hold, you just lift and then lower straight away, that's fine. So that's what we set. We lift, and then we lift. And breathe. So this is our last one. If you really want to test it, you can lift the top arm, reach over, move the arm about, just to test the stability. Lower the legs. Whew. Short rest. I'm going to topsy-turvy, so you're not having to look at the back of me. The choice is yours. You can topsy-turvy if you want. You can just roll straight over. So we've got the other side to do. So we don't walk in circles. Come over to the side. Make sure my head feels supported. Nice straight line. Ooh, I did my good side first. So to start with, it's just that top leg on its own. So, breath out and slip. Choice is yours if you point or flex the foot. We're just doing a lift here. And then lower. Again with that hand. Lift. Don't go too high, we don't want to start to feel it in the waist. So you kind of don't want the leg to go any higher than the outer edge of your hip anyway, and lower. And lift. And choice is yours with foot. Flex and point it a little and lower. So that was 2, this one's number 3. We lift just to hip height. Yeah, so it's not like it's coming up here, it doesn't need to, it's just a bit in line with that hip. And then lower. So this is number 4, so we're going to hold this one. So it comes up, and the choice is yours, flex, point, whatever. And the thing is, if we go too high, it's going to be really hard to bring that bottom leg up. So we level with the hip. It's not about making it easy, it's just we don't want to go higher than needed. Bring that bottom leg up. Squeeze the heels together, this side's a wobblier. And then lower. Wobbling is fine, can the body save itself? A little bit of wobbling is fine. So, we lift the top leg. And then the bottom leg. Can we squeeze the heels together? Don't worry if the heels don't quite meet. If we're here, that's fine. They're both lifted. We're going, can we squeeze the heels together? And then we lower. And lower them together. Lift as individuals, lower as a team. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked better that the top hip is a little bit forwards. Top leg, sorry. So this one's number 3, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. And then lift the bottom leg. Squeeze. And lower. So this one will be our last one. Or last one of these. So there, we lift. Lift the bottom leg. So there we go. Can we test, with bracing with the arms at all? Move them about. And then lower. Oh, and rest. So from here, we're going to come on to our front. We're going to do some swim legs. This glute and a little bit of hip extension. So come on to your front. With this, because we're not going to be using it, I'd suggest just popping the hands underneath the forehead to give you the space. I'm actually going to put my neck in a different position because I think it will sound better for you if I'm not talking it into the mat. But forehead on the hands for you to keep the back of the neck nice and long and open. Then your front of the pelvis level into the floor, pubic bone stays down, lengthen out through the toes. If you get quite crampy feet, this is okay just to turn the feet a little, that's okay. Pubic bone down. As you breathe out, you're just going to lift one leg, you're going to keep it nice and straight. Whether you push out through the toes or the heel doesn't matter. And just see how far you can lift it without lifting the pubic bone. And then lower. And then swap sides. Hold it, go, point it. If you get crampy feet, flex. And lower. Swap sides. If you can point the toes, you don't get crampy feet. Point the toes, see where it will go, and then push into the heel. Ooh, see how it changes, how it feels. Keep the front of the pubic bone down, lift. Push into the heel. So this, we want to feel this in the glutes, we don't want to feel this in the lower back. I'm just going to go forehead down, so you can see. Yeah. Heel. And swap sides. So we'll do just one more on each side. So it's those swim legs, lengthen. Push into the heel. Now if the pointed toe doesn't feel good, if that causes cramp in the feet, let's go out with that pushing into the heel. And give the hips a little bit of a wriggle and a shake. And now I want you to come back into that all fours. Again, the choice is yours. You can go flat hand, you can go onto your pillows on the elbows if you wish. It's up to you. You're going to push the floor away. I'm going to do it on the pillow, just so you can see through that. If you can push down, you can push out through it. So whether you're on the elbows or on the hands, doesn't matter. We're going to take one leg, make sure the knees are underneath the hips, not a little bit too spread out. Push down into the elbows, and as if you're trying to push the elbows outwards. If you're in the hands, push down into the hands, and then like trying to push the hands away from each other. So take one leg, take it out to the back, push into the heel. And from here, we're just going to see how far we can sweep that leg out to the side, trying to keep the pelvis level, and then bring it back. So you're going to do 4. Push down into the elbows, don't sink in the body. You're pushing the floor away, either through the elbows or the hands, out to the side. 2. And 3. Just see how far it will go. And 1 more. Like out to the side. And then bring it back. It goes down. And swap sides. Again, prepare for kind of collapsed a little through the upper body. We push the floor away, whether it's through the elbows or through the hands. Take the leg out to the back. And then how far out to the side will it go? The foot will turn, toes down. When the leg's out to the back, and the foot will turn a little, the toes will kind of start to the side of the foot will go towards the floor. Push back into the heel, open it out to the side. That one's 3. Pushing the floor away. One more. And bring it back. And he goes down. And from here, just drop back. If your knees don't like to be overly compressed, just let yourself have a rest here. That's fine. You know, if it was on the hand, on the wrist, go onto the elbows. You might want to drop all the way back. And just give the wrist a little bit of a shake. A circle. Pop all of this stuff out of the way. If you've used pillows or anything for the elbows, move them out of the way. Now I want you to come onto your back. So this is just like a little stretcher for us to finish with. So come onto your back. Oh, I just need my blanket. So if you do need underneath the back of your head, that's fine. Now, so what we're going to do here, just a little stretch. Get into those outer glutes. So you're going to cross the legs, and whichever leg has come over the top, we're going to move away from that top leg. Let me get worked out. So if the left leg's come over, we're going to move the legs over to the right. We want to keep the legs going over to the right. We want to keep the back of that left shoulder down, so you can put the right hand on that left shoulder. And just look over to the right side. Stretch. Glutes might go a little bit into the lower back. A few breaths there. Should feel quite nice. You can use the hand right in just to let the legs come back. And then change the cross. Have a wriggle. Change the cross. So if the right leg has come over, the knees are going to go over to the left. So the knees are going over to the left, so the back of the right shoulder needs to stay down. So you can use that left hand just on the front of the right shoulder, and you can look over to the right. That stretch. Glutes. Right, go a little bit into that lower back. That hand breath in. Come back into the centre. Yeah, wriggle. Maybe just move the legs in and out. You might want to bring the knees into the chest, give them a bit of a hug and a rock. You might want to take the legs longer, little, let the legs go out at an angle, and then just gently roll the feet in and out. Wriggle, have a stretch, do whatever feels right for you. That stretch might not feel so good. You might not want to do that. You might want to do knees into the chest. It feels right for you. It's on the side, and that's us done with that one. See you all soon.